All right, hello everybody. It's the Wrestling with the Willeys podcast. We're talking about Backlash 2024 edition, or otherwise known as Backlash France. Coming out of, I don't remember where it said that it was out of France.
Lyon.
Lyon, that's what it was. Yeah,
I
I
think is
knew
how
it
you
started with an L. I
think
couldn't
that's how
remember
you
it.
pronounce it.
But what's it called? Yeah, this is probably going to be a short podcast because there was only 5 matches on and like I was surprised that pretty much all the matches practically went at least over 20 minutes. Because it was like a
Except for
three
the Bailey
hour,
match.
yeah, like it was a 3 hour long pay per view, and it was it was like so. It started off with the bloodline where it was Tanga or Tomatonga and Solo going against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it up on me right now because the fucking
Yeah.
Xbox is taking forever. But
Yeah. It went 19 minutes and 25 seconds, this match did.
yeah, like somewhat went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. But I mean, like when you only have 5 matches on the card, that's the one thing that seems kind of weird. Why would you only have 5 matches and then there was no continuances of like a lot of people's storylines that happen at WrestleMania? It seems like weird.
Well, we kind of talked about that during the WrestleMania
Yeah,
podcast, was that there was no. I would have thought, because the way Backlash started was it was WrestleMania Backlash. So I would have thought that they would have just continued that trend, but it doesn't seem that way,
yeah. Well, I
especially with
mean,
this
they've done
card,
it like
because
back and forth with Backlash. It seemed like the
this was
last
more
few
like.
years they were doing WrestleMania Backlash, and then now it's like back to Backlash again. And so it
Well, this was
seems
more
like it
like.
was probably a Vince idea, but still.
Yeah, but this was more like backlash from events after
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Like this one was like just literally setting up Bloodline 2.0. When we were watching this, that's all I was thinking of was that they're setting up something to make as Solo as a main player. And,
Well, yeah, it was another thing we talked about on the last podcast, which started to come
yeah, and then this
in
was more
fruition
into
during
effect
this.
because also in this match because I mean, Kevin Owens always does funny stuff in all his matches, or like especially now, like he's kind of like done the fourth wall breaking stuff and everything else. But like, I like what he's doing right now because it's something that nobody else is doing.
Well, the interesting part in this match is I've talked about in previous podcasts that we've done is that Kevin Owens is normally the one that takes all the bumps, and he wasn't the
Oh
only
yeah,
one taking them in
that
this
was one
match.
of the things. Was like I think he
So,
only did like one move that was kind of scary. Everyone else like did like a shit ton of damn moves.
yeah, and normally he's the
Like
one that takes all of them.
Solo, I think went through. I know. I think was it two. I know he went through at least one table spot, and I can't remember if he was the one that, because I thought Randy Orton RKO'd someone on the table, and I couldn't remember if it was Tomatonga or if it was Solo or not, or at least I think they did something through one of the announce tables. I couldn't remember which. But and
Well, they
then,
did it through more than one table.
well,
There
that's
was
what I
one
was
on the
saying.
outside.
Even
There was one on the
Tomatonga went
inside.
through
Yeah.
one, and then I'm trying to think of all the other spots. There was a lot of spots that they ended up doing in this match that I was surprised that Kevin Owens didn't do anything like that. Because most of the time he's always the one who does the crazy moves, and then it was everyone else that was doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of surprising the whole time because of that. But I mean, it was good.
But
The one thing that made this card though is the crowd. Some people were saying like I watched one video where somebody was saying that it took him out of the pay per view and made him want to stop watching it. I'm like, that's the reason why I love wrestling is the crowd. Like if the
yeah,
crowd's crazy and like freaking out about like anything, like because this was a hot ass fucking crowd. They were into everything throughout the whole pay per view. I don't think that there was one match that they weren't excited to see.
No, and it was loud.
Yeah,
And
it was
the
loud
one
as
interesting
shit.
part is they talked about later on in the card that this was the largest gate for an arena show in WWE history. And I'm like, how much did they freaking
Yeah, how much did they
charge for the
charge for the
tickets?
tickets?
Because
Yeah,
there were only 11,000 people in the arena.
yeah.
So it's like, for it to be the highest gate for a WWE show, they must have been charging out the ass for tickets.
Yeah, it had to been. That's the only thing that can make sense. I
But I
mean,
mean, if they can and they sell out an arena,
hmm
why wouldn't you?
well,
I mean, so
that's
it's
the
like,
thing. Yeah, if they keep on like charging more and people are paying for it, then yeah, they're just going to keep raising the prices for stuff. Like,
mm-hmm.
but all in all, this is a very solid card. I think somewhat. I mean, I really enjoyed WrestleMania, but I really enjoyed this one too, just because we called all the matches, like who was winning and
Yeah,
who was losing. I don't think anybody else that would have been watching this card would have guessed differently too. I think I was the
yeah, I
only
don't think
one
so
that I
either.
would have hoped that Jay would have won, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But um, like that was really the only thing. But called every single match, like even this one, I was sitting there and it's like somebody has to be coming out before I even watched it. And I was kind of spoiled a little bit, but like I can't remember if I was talking about it on the WrestleMania podcast if I was talking about Tanga Loa showing up, which used to be Camacho. I found out the research for it. His name was Camacho with Tunico, which is now Dralistico in AEW, right? So, like, I was wondering if he was going to show up because I thought that his deal went up or something. Something was going on where they were talking about it. And people have been shitting on him left and right because one video that he was doing where he was doing a chop thing to like Okada and they're like, oh, AEW got Will Ospreay and Okada and then they get and then WWE gets this dude and it shows like weak ass chops and shit. I'm like, okay, that was one video, man. I'm not saying that he is like great. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff from him. I just knew that the Gorillas of Destiny. I think I can't remember how many tag team titles that they won in New Japan, but I know it was a lot, and they were mostly in Bullet Club for most of the time that Bullet Club was around. I'm pretty sure. I think they were like some of the OG members. I thought it was like Virgil Devitt, and then it was the Good Brothers, and then certain people, and then it was Gorillas of Destiny, I think, and then they added Young Bucks and like a bunch of other people. But I thought that they were part of the OG ones, like with Bad Luck Fale and stuff. But I am not exactly sure, but I'm just guessing. And of course, my cat just rolls up and just checking out stuff because I'm over here. So if you see a tail in the camera, that's him.
Yeah, so the interesting part too is that out of this pay per view, so the next premium live event that's coming up will be out of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia again. It'll be, but this one will be King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
But none of the matches out of this card basically flow into that one.
Yeah, it seems
So,
like the only
so
thing,
the
like, yeah,
so we'll talk about it at the end, but yeah, none of these matches correspond to what that card looks like either. So
yeah,
we normally talk about Raw and SmackDown Fallout. There really isn't any from this pay per view
yeah. Like, I don't think that there was
because,
anything that I really remembered that actually happened
well, no,
because they
just the
just build
continuance
up
when we,
like the Queen and the King of the Ring, really. And
yeah,
then
and
the
once we
draft
get there,
where they had the
yeah,
draft where they
they basically
because we
just
could
switch
probably
everything.
just mention like who they like they randomly selected, right? Like now because
I think we mentioned it during the WrestleMania one
oh about like
because
Ilya
we talked
Dragunov
about
and
Lyra.
stuff. I couldn't remember
Yeah,
if
we
we did
talked
or
about
not.
it. Yeah, we talked about it at the end of the last one that Lyra
Oh yeah,
Valkyria, I
okay,
think is
yeah,
how you say it,
Larraville,
was,
Carria,
and
and
then
then
Becky
Ilya.
Blair Davenport
Yeah,
was another one that was called up. But yeah, I mean the first match again, we called the bloodline would be defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton because, for one, we had said in the previous podcast, none of these matches made sense going into this premium live event, really, because there was
Yeah.
no build up for any of the matches, really. And we were kind of surprised that Becky Lynch wasn't even on the card.
Yeah.
And um, so and stuff like that, since she had just won the title. The other one too was the tag team belts. I don't think neither tag team was on the belt, or
Yeah.
just the female
Well, that's why I
tag
thought
team belt
that
was
the
on the belt.
cards were just weird. Because I could
Yeah,
tell
so
that, like, what's it called? And it was funny, I might add, Tonga Loa kind of, like, fucked up his entrance a little bit. Like, I guess his timing was a bit
I think
off.
he,
So
yeah,
the
he came in
ref,
late or something,
yeah,
is what
he
I read.
came in a second late or something. So the referee was already kind of pulling himself out of the ring by the time that he got there. But I mean, if you're not seeing like, you can't be perfect every time. That's why I keep on kind of going back to
Well,
people whenever they talk about, like, if somebody watches too much or whatever. Like, I think that there's a
it
difference
had to suck
between,
for him
yeah,
sitting under
because,
the ring
yeah,
for
like,
the entire
at least it
pay per
was
view, pretty
not
much.
like the main event where he was sitting under
Yeah,
there the whole damn time. So at least it was only
yeah.
the first match. So he only had to be in there for like 20 minutes or whatever. So, but yeah, it was a solid match. I mean, I wouldn't say like there was a standout compared to all these. Probably the main event probably would be like definitely would be like the best match, but there wasn't anything where
Yeah,
in
this kind of
5 years
reminds me
I'm
of
gonna
the
remember it.
I mean, the AEW Dynasty pay per view it was kind of, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah,
Like I think people had said the Cody Rhodes match, and we'll get to it, that the main event was up in the caliber of Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, and
yeah, and
no,
I'm
it
like
was not.
definitely not.
Um,
I think that was
but
the number one thing that I said before we even started watching it. I was like, there's no way that it was on the same level.
but yeah, the second match was Bayley against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton, which
Yeah, which I think Tiffany Stratton carried the match. I mean, like, I wouldn't say that Bailey and
but
Naomi
I'm
are
hearing,
bad, but
I
like
mean, that is the
mostly
one
remember,
fallout
huh?
that I've heard since. That's the one fallout I've heard since this pay per view, though, is I guess Tiffany Stratton posted something on Instagram or
Yeah,
something about
supposedly she called
Jade
Jade
Cargill.
Cargill. I think she called her a black bitch. I thought that's
Yeah,
what it sounded like she said, and I'm like, well, aren't they both on SmackDown?
I believe. I don't
I
know.
thought that they were both on SmackDown. So
I don't know though, because
the way that I saw it at the time, I was pretty sure that Jade was on SmackDown. I would say just look that up right now.
yeah, she's
But
on the SmackDown brand,
okay, so
but she's
yeah,
the tag team champ now, so they're not really held to a brand now, right?
yeah, yeah. I think they're. I think they could be on both brands, but like that's what I was taking out of it. Like she was gonna say something where she was saying this like into a buildup of a feud possibly down the road. But people were saying that she was racist and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, it's just funny how people say wrestling is fake and all this stuff, but then they'll see like somebody comment on Instagram, and then they'll take it like super literal, like, and she might
But
just be
I
saying
didn't
that she
even,
don't
I
like
didn't.
Jade Cargill. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I can't comment because I didn't see what was actually
Yeah, I
said, but I
just
do
saw
know
it
I've
through.
read that
Yeah, I
that was
didn't
the
actually
fallout, and
read the actual thing. I just saw that on Twitter when I pulled up Twitter, like all people were talking about was how racist she was about stuff. I'm
so I
like,
guess she was
okay.
in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and that was pulled.
Oh, so they pulled her
Uh,
because of the
yeah,
Instagram thing?
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I've read.
you know what?
So
Maybe this is probably what it was a setup between them two, like
yeah, I
into a
don't.
match, and like she was probably trying to kind of hint to it because I thought she was supposed to go against Bianca or something, don't she? I know.
Yeah, it was her and Bianca was supposed to be in the, but that was pulled from the SmackDown this week.
Uh, Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's what she was trying to do, is set up something between. I don't know. You know
But
how they
but
usually have this plan.
this match was 13 minutes and 10 seconds, but this was the worst match of the card, I think.
And not saying that it was in
Um
a bad, like a
no,
bad match either. It was
but
just probably the weakest
Na-
out of all
well,
five.
yeah, because out of most of them, this was the one that had the most botches in it.
Yeah,
Because I remember
and
Naomi messed up a few times, um, and had to correct. And then, but Tiffany Stratton, I'll continue to say now, she's got the best moonsault out there right now. But I can tell you, what is her name? Sol Ruka
yeah, her
has
finishing.
one of the best moves
I keep
off the
watching
rope
that
out of
damn thing. I
anyone.
just saw another video where it was
Did you see the
her
one where
going
she
up.
did it off the? Yeah, she did a backwards
Yeah,
cutter
yeah,
off the.
off
Yeah,
the
it was.
turnbuckle or whatever. Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, damn, like she's trying to do like out, like kind of like out RKO Randy
RKO,
Orton.
yeah,
Seems like. I mean,
yeah,
I'm all
and
for it
she's
though.
early.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Anybody that they kind of like sets themselves apart from other people, I'm all for. That.
but I know Bailey gets a lot of respect. I just don't care for her wrestling
Well, I
all that
mean,
much. I still
I
don't.
don't know. I think
I
that the problem for me is like I've never, other than the Woman match that she had with Sasha, there is not another match that comes to mind that I just remember that was great. Other than I think it might have been the one where it was, I can't, no, it was, she wasn't even in that one. I think essentially they need to do a four horsewoman match with each other for like a title belt at one point, because the only time that they've done it was Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky. I was sitting there
well
thinking
for
if
me,
she was involved, and then I was like, no, she wasn't even involved in that one.
yeah, for me Bailey, it's almost like what I see out of Chris Statlander now.
Yeah,
It seems like the knee surgery has impacted her a lot. And I think Chris Statlander is a crazy amount slower now. Seeing her wrestle now
yeah.
compared to what she was doing before, um, it's I think it's impacted their wrestling.
Well, I mean,
Um, but
yeah,
but we
trying to
knew
be
Bailey would
safer.
win. She just won a month ago. They weren't gonna take it away from her this fast.
Yeah.
So, I didn't expect much out of
Especially, I
this.
think they have
And
higher plans for Tiffany Stratton. The way that
well,
the way that they've already been pushing her, I think that
well,
they
I
want to
think they
do
did.
something
I
with
don't know
her.
if this is like what we just talked about is going to impact it, though. You know how
Yeah,
the culture is
that's the
today. I
thing.
don't
I
know
mean,
how.
I honestly think you should. I mean, if this is a storyline based thing, like if that's what she was going for, I think you should leave the like unless you're like MJF where you're trying or like certain people where you're trying to keep kayfabe into it, where like you're trying to do it as a whole personal like uh separate entity for it. But
Yeah,
like you don't know some of these other people. They it's just like they put their opinions on the thing and then you could be held on to a different standard regardless. So I would say even if you didn't like say it was actually true and she just don't like Jade Cargill or something and then she just posted that not thinking that she was gonna get reamed in the comments or whatever. It's like sometimes it's like whenever they say if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. It's like that. You need
hmm,
to do, and some people, especially wrestlers, need to take that advice to heart. Like you don't need to
yeah,
be like if you don't like certain people, you don't need to post it online and talk about it with other people. Like it's one thing when it's like if Drew really hates CM Punk, obviously he probably doesn't hate him. He probably dislikes him, but like he's probably like thinking money wise. He's like, I gotta sell this story, like I gotta turn it up to 11, like we hate each other, like we're in a blood feud, right? Like that type of thing. But like saying shit on Twitter or like Instagram or whatever, I don't think really helps you. I think it hurts you more than it helps. And I think you should leave. And like even if you had like a different profile or something like that, just block it for like most people to like get on. But I wouldn't even use social media if I was like like a person on a whole level
Yeah,
like
but they have
these
to build
wrestlers
their
are.
brand. That's really the
Yeah,
only way they can do it.
yeah,
I mean, but I mean, I don't know if I have anything. I don't know if I have anything left to say
no,
on the Bailey
not
match because
really. I
there
mean, like it
wasn't much
to
that
me, the
happened in it
highlight was
besides.
Tiffany Stratton. I mean,
Hmm.
she did stuff that I like, and this isn't a knock for Naomi or Bailey. I much prefer Naomi more. I definitely think they've kind of shafted Naomi for a long time, and
Well,
at
yeah,
least
but I
they
mean,
gave her
she just came
the
back,
title
so
belt and shit. Well, I mean,
yeah,
trying to do it with and trying to tell a story with like fucking thousands of females on your roster, it's kind of hard. Like trying to tell a story to like get somebody in the title picture or whatever. Somebody's always going to have to take a back seat. That's the bad part. That's why
hmm,
usually some people get raised up whenever somebody gets injured. It kind of sucks. Like it's like Seth when he hurt his knee, like, and then same with Finn Balor when he fucking tore his shoulder. I mean, you don't want to see that happen, but like sometimes it helps somebody else that they weren't looking at. I mean, even Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre are people that are involved with that. If Roman was gone, if he didn't leave, he would have been the champ still, like during COVID time. And then Drew probably wouldn't have. He would have probably won the opposite belt still, right? Because I think at the time Roman was on SmackDown. So, but Braun Strowman wouldn't have won the title. He wouldn't.
yeah,
That his reign probably wouldn't have happened if Roman didn't leave with leukemia. I think it was leukemia, right at the time, or
yeah,
something like
hmm,
that. Like
yeah,
he probably wouldn't have had a title reign off of that. They would have because they
probably
probably
not.
saw him as a certain way, and then they bumped him up because of that. That's why I say some people don't realize that like you have to like it's a job, so you have to do stuff. You don't always get what you want, especially in wrestling. You think Brooklyn Brawler wanted to be known as a jobber for most of his career, like where he is known for losing? Like I'm sure he didn't start to be a wrestler to lose all the time. Tommy Dreamer likes to
Yeah,
lose a lot, but like
yeah.
kind of
So
brought off track, but still, like,
yeah, so the next match was Damian Priest against Jey Uso, and that went 15 minutes and 45 seconds, and that was for the World Heavyweight title. So Damian Priest just won this at WrestleMania. So again, we had predicted that he would beat Jey Uso, even though Josh had talked about at the
it
beginning.
would have
This would
been
have been
nice if he would
a good
have
time.
won, just to
Yeah,
be
that Jey
different,
Uso would win it. Um,
and to help out Jay. Like because I think
but
eventually at one point they're going to give him the title, but I don't know
But at
when.
the same time, because of the way Damian Priest won it, I think he's going to lose it to Drew
Oh yeah,
at
I
some
think
point.
I'm wondering
Because
if
they've already
Judgment Day is
started
going to
that
turn on him.
talk. Well, they've already started that talk between Drew and Damian Priest.
Hmm.
And ultimately it's going to lead to a Drew versus CM Punk match
Yeah,
when CM Punk comes back.
yeah,
So you know how it's going to go. So we knew that he would keep the belt at this point.
yeah.
But Jey Uso, the reaction he got from the freaking crowd was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um, and now they've actually implemented the whole
The fire,
flare lights from
yeah, the
the.
fireflies.
They're like
Liter
trying to get people to do it during his
I
entrance.
loved how they
Um,
said he was like, they are mine now. And then he was like, hashtag Yeeter of Worlds. I thought that was funny.
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
but
some
he's
people
being
think
really
that
good with all that
his, like,
stuff. I mean,
Yeet
it's
stuff is, like, kind of tired, but I'm like, dude, you could tell you could tell he is a great baby face right now. Like, he is not
well, he
more
deserves
over
the.
than most of the people that are on the
I
roster right
could
now.
tell you, out of anybody that deserves a push outside of Cody, it's Jey Uso,
Yeah. That's why I say
based
that
on the
it's
crowd
only a
response he
matter
gets.
of time that he wins the title. That's the problem
But
is
I think
there's
it
way
would
too
be
many.
beautiful for it this bloodline civil war thing. I know it's going to happen based on how they're going down this stuff, the stuff that you were
Oh yeah.
talking about a few podcasts ago, because it would be great for the Usos and Roman to go babyface.
Well, that's what
At this point,
yeah.
this is when Roman needs to go face.
Well, it
He's
just
been heel for
naturally, it just feels
yeah.
like
What
he would
it's
be
a
gone
natural
for a
turn.
while, and then especially the
Yeah,
story that they've been telling, where they've been telling the storyline where as soon as he lost, like they haven't talked to him. Like Paul
yeah.
Heyman hasn't even talked to him directly. They even said that. Like Solo went out
But
and took care, and like that's why they set up this Bloodline 2.0 thing in the first place because it was like he was like, you were the head of the table and you fucked up. Now I'm gonna take over and be the head of the table for you. That's what it seems like is the situation. But like,
yeah, yeah, and that's what I envisioned going down the path. But in terms of this match tonight, again, it was an okay match. Most of these were, like I was saying, the the worst one to me was the Bailey match. This one was just run of the mill,
yeah.
two guys
To
facing off
me,
against each
this
other.
was my second favorite match just because,
Yeah.
like, I loved the stuff at the end. Like how Priest told him to stay away, and then they kept intervening. And then
Hmm.
he beat Jay, and he didn't realize it was because they fucking helped.
Well, and that's also this is signaling the Damian Priest face turn.
Hmm.
That's what
That's what
I
I was saying. That's what
because
I'm guessing that they're doing.
and that's why you know the Drew McIntyre Damian Priest thing is coming because Damian's gonna be the face in that because Drew's a heel right
Oh,
now.
and by the way, I know that during the WrestleMania podcast, you were talking about Nikki Cross possibly being in the
Hmm.
Wyatt Six or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah.
That it
Hmm.
seems like at least one of the names of the characters is going to be called the Dreadmare, but they've been they showed Rowan's face several times. They did like another video, and then they literally put Nikki Cross in it, where she was like laughing all crazy and shit. So, like, I am so intrigued with this. I'm wondering
Hmm.
where they're going, especially like.
Yeah.
So
We'll see when they first start coming back
yeah, they've
because
been doing plenty of different videos and everything else,
because
setting up everything.
I also have a feeling that it'll be somewhere around when Alexa Bliss comes back
Oh yeah, like because I
is
don't know if
when
she's
stuff will
training or
start.
what. I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
there's a reason it hasn't started yet, though, to me, and I think it's because of her return. She's either gonna be a part of it or she's gonna be one of their targets.
Yeah.
Um, So, but again, not much to the match. I loved the entrance. Like anybody, check it out. It's all over Twitter and all
Oh
the
yeah.
of Jay's
He
entrance.
is so fucking
Um,
over right now, and that entrance was just fucking cool for him.
and
So.
then the next match, which was not was my second least favorite, only because Jade Cargill still looks in crazy green to me.
Yeah, like I think she
I
was
find
better
it
here than
odd
she
that
was last time, but she looked
she
like she was about
was,
to
but
fall out of her shirt again.
yeah, but I mean this match, it was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against the Kabuki Warriors, and this one went 17 minutes and 25 seconds. And going into the match, when we saw the card, we said there's no way in hell that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, especially with Jade Cargill, this being her second match, I think,
Yeah.
that they were going to lose this match. We knew they were going to win. They're like, she's not going to lose her, especially the way they've pushed her already coming into WWE. You knew they weren't going to lose. But watching her wrestle, it's like she didn't. I haven't seen any progression from
Oh
AEW
yeah,
to
like the
WWE,
difference.
really.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
see much. Like
it
to
looks,
me, it looks like she's gotten a little bit better, but not by
yeah,
much.
just a little, though,
Then and that's what I'm
considering how much
saying.
she's been
Yeah, with
in the
the
Performance
training and
Center.
all that stuff. Yeah, you would think
I
that
think my thing is, I think she's muscular, but I don't think she's
strong.
powerful.
Yeah,
Like, because I think they want to tout her that way, but the problem is she's not powerful. Not like
yeah.
Braun Strowman.
It's
Like we
kind of
talk about
yeah. I get what
Braun
you mean. Yeah,
Strowman lifts a dude up that weighs 300 pounds and it looks like he plays around with them.
yeah,
But then you see this dude that, like, I wouldn't say Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley's stronger. I'm trying to think of a good example where the dude looks fucking ripped, but when he goes to pick somebody up, he barely can do it. And
Well, I know at
and
one point Jade did that too. Like they did some move and she like her arm gave out. Like she didn't have the strength to lift her up.
well, and that's what
And
I'm
that
saying.
was
I mean,
like,
and
and I can't remember if it was.
I used
I
to
think
say
it
the
might have
same
been
thing about
Oscar or
Raquel
something.
Rodriguez.
And then,
Raquel Rodriguez, I used to say
hmm
the same thing about. They touted her as a strong person, yet she couldn't lift. She could barely lift opponents
yeah,
up. The only one that I've seen that can do it is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley
yeah,
looks very easy
yeah,
when she picks
lifting
people
people
up.
up. Yeah.
Like I've only seen a couple of times where maybe she faltered a little bit, and it
Well,
was bigger women
it's
though.
like certain
Like,
people just have the
but
strength behind them. It's like
yeah,
Cesaro.
going into this match, the result was exactly what I expected. There wasn't anything crazy. I love how Asuka and Kairi Sane like play a heel role, but they like dance to the opponent's music and
Yeah.
shit. I think that's hilarious.
And it sounds like
But
Oscar got hurt during this match too. I don't know for sure, but like
yeah, I haven't seen her
they
on
said that
TV
they took
since.
her off because she was injured. I thought that that's what they said, like on a Raw or SmackDown or something. There was like, "Oh, you're the one who injured her" or something. It was like an offhanded line, so I don't know if it was like it could be
But
like just a minuscule injury where she can't wrestle for a little bit, but I don't know for sure.
I really like these Asian wrestlers. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm a big fan of
I
Io
think it's
Sky,
just the
and I'm a big
wrestling
fan of
style
Kairi
is
Sane.
better.
Asuka, I'm not as crazy about. I don't know why. I think it's just her wrestling style.
Yeah,
But Kairi Sane and Io Sky or Io Shirai or whatever you want to call her now. I've been a big fan of for a long time.
yeah. It seems
And
like a lot of the
but and then I
Asian
compare the
wrestlers,
same type of wrestlers in AEW. They're not like what's her name? The one that was the first women's champion in
Rio.
AEW.
Yeah, I
Rio.
think Rio's
She's a
just too
tiny
small.
one, and yeah, and I'm like I have a hard time believing that she can like face off against anybody else
Oh
because
yeah,
she's just
because
literally small.
she's just like she's even
And
smaller than Rey Mysterio is. That's the thing.
yeah, and so it's like when you look at that, it's like okay, but yeah, I don't have much to say on this match either.
No, not really. I mean, it had good moments, but
But
like also at the same time, nothing really that she hasn't done in AEW. And I love
yeah,
Bianca. Like I think no matter what, I love Bianca, and I'm just waiting. And I
well, and
think
the one thing
everyone's
we
just
wanted to point
waiting.
out is it
Huh?
looked like Bianca made Jade Cargill's outfit for this
Oh
match.
yeah, it
Either
looked
that or
like
they
it
just
too.
coordinated very
And
well.
that's why I said like earlier, it looked like she had three sets of chains on her top. And then it seems like no matter what, when she was in AEW and here, like no matter what, she would always have like near misses where like something would just about miss from having something poke out or something. And it's always her boobs. Like every time it's like having something like this one, it looked like one of the chains popped off and it looked like she had to like be careful with where she was doing the moves because something would have fell out. And I'm like, geez,
Yeah,
you got to be more careful. Obviously, she needs sturdier clothes that stick to her more instead of like the stuff that where it looks like she's got loose fitting stuff or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. She might have something else underneath it. It's just like every time it seems like I've called it out in so many damn Jade Cargill matches too. I've called like most of the uh,
Well, it's
matches
either
that she
that or
was in
she
a.
puts paint on her
Oh
body that
yeah,
doesn't last
yeah,
long.
and she'll wear like thongs and shit, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't. It's just like I don't want you to just have everything hang out. I would feel bad for her if something fucking plopped out, you know.
but yeah.
But anyway,
But yeah,
yeah, it was a good match. I wouldn't say, like all these matches were good matches. I wouldn't say great because I don't think in like 5 or 10 years I'm gonna remember these matches all
no,
like
oh
play
no,
for play and shit like this one.
not like Will
This one,
Ospreay, Brian
Cody
Danielson
Rhodes
at
versus
Dynasty.
yeah,
Yeah,
like Cody Rhodes versus AJ. Of course AJ's great. Of course AJ's great. Cody's great. Like wrestling and shit. Even though the people are getting tired of Like, it's funny how they're getting tired of his babyface thing when he could literally go heel at any time. Like,
Hmm.
that's the whole thing about his character work is no matter what, he stays, he does like John Cena. Like, John Cena, Cody was the John Cena of AEW. That's why he was getting booed a lot. And people don't
Hmm.
realize that that was the reason why. It's because he was winning a lot, and people that watch AEW was getting tired of him winning a lot when they thought that the other people deserved to win. And it's like, why ain't you bitching about now? You're bitching about Chris Jericho winning. It's like
And the funny
he was
thing is
winning
I
even
was
more
at,
than Cody
and
was.
to preface that, this week he got booed here in Seattle. Chris Jericho did, and there were chants that he should retire, and he responded to the crowd. He came out of character during that, and basically said it. If he retired now, he'd be inducted into every pro wrestling Hall of Fame. And so, but it was funny because the reaction that I've been talking about that he's winning too much and stuff, it's not only me, obviously, because the entire Seattle crowd believed in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this match went 27 minutes and 20 seconds between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. And just to bring you up to speed on how we got here, there was an undisputed championship eliminator tournament to where at first in the semifinals, AJ Styles faced off against Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles won that match. And then in the other match, it was Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, and Santos Escobar, where LA Knight won the
Yeah.
match. And then in the final, which happened on basically the week before or something on April 19th on SmackDown, AJ Styles pinned LA Knight. So that's how we got to this match. Um, this match was good. People talked about it being better
Great.
than
Yeah.
Will
Yeah. And
Ospreay
I'm
and
like,
Bryan Danielson.
hell no.
I do not agree with that at all.
Yeah. Like, it didn't
There's
have
and
like
I
the
don't even
same
think
shit.
I honestly don't even think it was anywhere close. We
Yeah.
talked about it during the match that
It
I
was
don't know
not
what
even on
people
the
were
same
seeing.
level. It was just
No,
like
I thought
literally they told so much story in the Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson match, and this one
yeah.
had story to it. Of course it did, but there was no like okay, it's
But the
just
only
talking about
story that I
Bryan
think they were
Danielson
touting was the
possibly
Bullet
getting
Club
hurt,
stuff.
and then the face
Yeah.
turn shit. And then they were
But
like also saying, oh, two former leaders of the Bullet Club. No, Cody was never a leader. Let's get this straight. He tried to
yeah, and
be
they
the
continued
leader.
to tout that
Yeah,
too.
like he tried to be a leader. Didn't actually pan out. He still Kenny Omega was still the leader of Bullet Club at the time. So like that was some of the best stuff for me for Bullet Club too. Was like the tension between the elite version of Bullet Club and then the OG Bullet Club and stuff like that, and then Cody trying to take over the Bullet Club. And that's why I say he plays a damn good heel. If they had to like turn him heel, he could definitely do it. It's not like he did it for most of his WWE career before he came back. So that's why I'm saying, like, some people are just like I watched something on Twitter where Damian Priest has had one title defense, and they're like, how do you think, what do you think of Damian Priest's reign so far? I'm like, he hasn't even really started. Like, I don't understand if you've done it like three or four matches telling these stories and shit, but like, by the way, we didn't really talk about Damian Priest's
Well,
promo with Drew, which was a fire ass fucking promo, where he literally talked about, he was like, it was your fault why I cashed in. You literally told me to do it. He was like, you
well, that's
told
what I.
me when to cash in. You told me don't be stupid and this and that. What did you do? You took your eyes off the prize and you should have paid attention to doing your stuff with your family. And then you went over to CM Punk. And I was like, damn, fucking Damian
Well, that's
Priest.
what I'm saying. That's the difference what right now between WWE and AEW though. And we've said it before. Their storylines, they're actually doing it. What I didn't understand was going into Backlash, there was no tie to WrestleMania like there used to
Yeah.
be. And I think Backlash should always be that way. But with that being said, before we end this podcast, I wanted to talk about the upcoming card and present where we're at currently and explain why it's just odd coming off of not only WrestleMania, but then Backlash and see where we're going and how they're not really correlating all that much. So, like, obviously, there's the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament. Currently, it looks like the semifinals so far have Gunther and Jey Uso in it. The quarterfinals, which are going to be on tonight's SmackDown, are Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes are facing off, and then LA Knight and Tama Tonga are facing off. So the way it looks to me
Yeah.
is it won't surprise me if it's Jay versus Tama Tonga in the final.
Oh,
Based
so
on
Jey Uso and
it,
Gunther are going against each
yeah,
other.
Jey Uso and Gunther are going against each
Ooh,
other, and
talk about that
and
would be a fun match. Damn.
but this would continue. I would see Randy Orton coming out of the Carmelo one, and then
Yeah.
it's Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga
And then
continuing what
Tama
happened
Tonga
at
beat,
Backlash,
and then Tama
and
Tonga beat
then
Randy
Tama
Orton.
Tonga, yeah, and Jey Uso facing off for the
Yeah,
King of the
that
Ring.
and that would be the only thing that would make sense, especially because
And
the
that would be the
bloodline show.
tie-in to the whole
Yeah,
bloodline
and that's
stuff that we're
why
talking about.
they were showing that before Damian Priest and his match, the bloodline walked past him, he's worried
And
about shit.
yeah, and like right now, like I was saying earlier, Io Sky is facing off against Lyra Valkyria on Raw next week. And then on SmackDown this week, it's Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. And then it was supposed to be Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair, but that was pulled off the card this week. So I don't know what they're going to do there.
Oh, so they
Um,
don't because I thought I remember I saw that was supposed to be on there, but I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. I read that it was pulled off the card. We'll see tonight if it
yeah,
was actually put back on the card, but
yeah,
or after tonight. But going in, those will be whatever the final is. That'll be at the uh, pay per view. So it'll either or the premium live event,
yeah.
and then Becky Lynch will be facing Liv Morgan,
Which
which
does
I
seem
thought
like that
should have
makes sense.
happened
Yeah.
at
Hmm.
Backlash. Um, and then the next one, again, we talked about it. Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental belt, and then he hasn't
And then
defended it. Now he's going to be defending it
I thought
in
he
Saudi
defended it
or in Saudi,
against
which is
Gable, but then he hasn't done anything else since then. But
no, he's defending it against Gable and Bronson Reed at
oh yeah,
King of the
that's what it
Ring.
was. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Gable lost at first, then turned because he got and he was like, "You threw it in my face," which I kind of
yeah.
like what they're doing with Gable right now, kind of being a dick to
Well, he
everyone.
slapped Otis.
Yeah, he slapped Otis, and then he said that all of them suck.
Yeah,
Essentially, it's like,
and then
why would I train you guys? You guys all suck. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
and then here we go in that I don't know what the hell Logan Paul has on people, but he's in a
Oh
champion
yeah, he
versus
goes against
champion
Cody.
match.
Yeah, so
I'm like, what the
Cody's
shit?
taking
So
the
now,
damn U.S. title.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
he's
it's
gonna
like you,
be champ
well,
like Seth
well, yeah, you,
Rollins was.
well, and this is that example. Like this came out of nowhere, and then you know what's going to happen because Cody's not going to
Yeah,
lose
Cody's
the
not losing
undisputed
until
belt to
next.
Logan Paul.
He's going against The
I mean,
Rock
so
supposedly next year.
yeah,
So
so
it's
I mean,
gonna fucking happen.
so it's like,
Good.
but
So
anyways.
so now we'll see Logan Paul have another Prime bottle with some random YouTuber in it.
Yep. Yeah, it won't be one show, I show speed or whatever. It'll be somebody
Yeah,
else
it'll
this
probably
time.
be somebody else.
But
Yeah, because they've been doing they had KSI and a bunch of other people just randomly show up. It'll probably be whoever's I wouldn't be surprised if Kai Cenat shows up. He's a big Twitch streamer, So I wouldn't be
Yeah, and
surprised. I wouldn't be
I've watched
surprised
some
if
of that dude's streams. Sometimes I'm just shocked at how many people watch him just sit there.
yeah.
But anyways,
Well, I mean, I saw that
um,
he played Elden Ring and stuff like that, but like that's
yeah, he
because
has
yeah.
130 some odd thousand people
Holy
watching him
crap,
play that,
that's a
and I'm
lot.
like, what?
I
Yeah,
wish I ended
like,
up having that many people watching me play games. Damn.
yeah, I know.
Like I just
Yeah,
get one
but
bot half the time. No.
yeah, but
But
but yeah, I don't have anything
yeah,
else,
so I
Josh. I don't
think
know if
what's it called? So Queen of the Ring
so.
and stuff is next week.
I meant to look at that. Yeah, but I think also Double or Nothing. So
My
AEW Double or
God.
Nothing is also
Oh,
next. So
motherfucker.
we're
It's like,
back to the 2 in a month
oh, fucking swear, man.
schedule again.
And like, I
Yeah.
swear AEW needs to stop with their fucking monthly pay-per-views, man. It's killing me.
Yeah, so King and Queen of the Ring is Saturday and then Double or Nothing is Sunday. So
Oh my God, my fucking
so
God. So,
so those will be our next two podcasts that we'll be
oh my
putting there
God.
out on the
I'm gonna be fucking having a busy ass fucking weekend. We'll probably have to make
Yep.
one of them like later or something. I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
But
I'm sure.
yeah, we will.
So,
But
thank you
yeah,
guys for watching, like up to this point and shit like that. And check that the
and
website
listening on
out,
your
and
favorite
yeah, listening to
podcast
us
platforms.
whatever a platform you're using, and check out the website, thehardygeek.com, where we have all our content and any future stuff that's coming out. I'm probably
And
gonna
we
be
stream
making
here
like
on
four
YouTube.
more reviews. I'm gonna do my first negative review on Taylor Swift's new album. I know it's been out for a little bit, but like I'm thinking about doing the first because I'll be for real with you. I listened to 10 songs. I was trying to give it an honest shot, and then it was so fucking boring I had to turn it off. It's like she is like a 34-year-old woman still bitching about being single and like her parents not liking the boyfriends that she picks. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's a possibility. I don't like to make negative music reviews. I don't like to trash music because I mean I think that everybody puts their heart and soul into whatever they make. So I don't try to be negative when it comes to people's music, but it's just whatever I'm not into. So like, whatever. Look forward to that stuff, and then we got like Aaron Twitch streams practically every day, and YouTube streams. Same with Jeremy under the Hardy Geek banner. They've been practically playing a shit ton of Warzone lately, so
Well, and Gray Zone Warfare. We just
yeah, I noticed it,
started
which I
playing a
need to
lot of.
check that out. I might play it so I can try it out because I haven't went back to Call of Duty in a while. I've been playing way too much damn Fallout. I literally just beat Fallout 4 again. I did the Railroad playthrough this time, so I still got to do the. I think it's the Minutemen ending, and then I got to do the Brotherhood of Steel ending. I think those are the other two ones that I need to do. But for all of us at the Heart of Geek, thank you for watching or listening or whatever.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you
Well,
in the next podcast.
all right. See you guys.
Peace.